Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, city volunteers in the US are holding a relief distribution in Washington for nearly 1,000 victims of a forest fire. We return to Jinmen for our series on invading species and see what the local government is doing to save their native wildlife. And we have easy access to tap water thanks to TWC's inspection staff, who are working hard to ensure no water pipes are leaking. On August 13, a forest fire devastated the state of Washington in the United States. The blaze started at a construction site and was fueled by strong wind. After 5 days of containment, the fire was fully controlled, but in its wake, it destroyed almost 100 homes, leaving nearly 1,000 people homeless. Upon hearing of the disaster, Seattle city volunteers went to survey the disaster area and set up a relief distribution.
In mid-August, a wildfire occurred in Washington state, devastating forests and homes. Over 12,000 hectares of forests were scorched, and thousands of people were forced to flee. After the fire was contained, Seattle city volunteers went to survey the disaster area and comfort the terrified residents. As those affected by the wildfire were many, the Red Cross has been coordinating the disaster relief work. City volunteers prepare cash cards and blankets for those staying in shelters.
Thank you. Thank you, and hope you carry all this love and help and bring them home.
The volunteers hand out blankets to fire victims, and to comfort and encourage them, the volunteers also sing the song, Love and Care for All.
Would you like to stand up with us and then make a big circle?
City volunteers' blessing and embrace show the disaster victims that they are not alone.
Moving to Malaysia, city volunteers in Klang are preparing for their upcoming charity sale on the 17th of September to fundraise for the construction of a new Jingsi Hall in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor. Volunteers first visited residents to inform them of the road closure during the event, in which they also handed out coupons for them to use at the sale. Later, 137 volunteers came together with residents to clean up the surrounding area that brought everyone closer together.
Good evening, we are from Tzu Chi. We are from downstairs. On the 17th of this month, we will hold a bazaar, and we will need to close the side road and the road in back. We hope it doesn't cause too much inconvenience. We are just here to say we are sorry, as we will be blocking the road in front.
Tzu Chi volunteers hand out coupons to the bazaar as a way to thank residents for putting up with the inconvenience. Volunteers also invite residents to join in a community cleanup. One resident even volunteered to translate the message to community residents.
Environment friendly, so we because I saw you all, because all around here are Indian people, so you cannot talk them very clearly. They can't understand very easily also. So if I followed you, when I tell to them, they can understand very easily.
Using brooms, shovels, and wheelbarrows, 137 volunteers throw themselves into cleaning up the venue location before the start of the bazaar.
From when we announced the activity until today, I was nervous that we wouldn't have enough people. But today, I saw how many people came to give back, and it far exceeded my expectations.
Volunteers are also joined by residents ready to do their part.
The other night, the volunteers came to my door announcing the cleanup. They asked if I could tell my friends about it. Today, my friends and I have all come here to help with the cleanup.
Although Rajma's one hand is bandaged, that has not stopped her from joining the volunteers. She came with her granddaughter after seeing the volunteers from her window.
I saw everyone working from my window, so I decided to join in.
In just 5 hours, Tzu Chi volunteers and residents give the area a clean new face, setting a good start for the upcoming bazaar.
Also in Malaysia, but in Penang, an elementary school student, Cai Su-ming, has kept up his vegetarian diet since the 7th lunar month blessing ceremony in 2010. In the past 2 years, he has convinced his family of 5 to join the meatless campaign, and even his grandmother has become an ambassador in spreading the benefits of vegetarianism.
In Malaysia, 9-year-old Cai Su-ming is like all the other kids in his class. The only difference is that at lunch, he eats a plate of vegetable fried noodles for lunch.
I'm the first one in my family that wanted to adopt a vegetarian diet, so I asked my siblings to go meatless with me, because I think killing animals are cruel.
I love my brother, so I followed my brother's lead in going meatless.
Cai Su-ming leads his siblings in adopting a vegetarian diet, and his younger sister also spreads the ideals to her classmates.
I like to eat vegetable.
I love my friends, so I ask my friends not to eat meat.
Cai's older brother, past lover of fried chicken, even switched to hosting a vegetarian meal party to celebrate his birthday, and at his school's charity event, sold veggie burgers to share with his classmates.
When my friends ate the hamburger, they didn't notice anything, but when I told them it was a veggie burger, they were shocked.
Switching to a vegetarian diet isn't hard if you have the willpower.
The 3 children's determination in adopting a vegetarian diet moved the whole family to switch to meatless meals. Even their 90-year-old grandmother has become an ambassador in spreading vegetarianism.
I'm 90 years old. I have been a vegetarian for a year and I'm fine, so I tell everyone to adapt a meatless diet like me.
The vegetarian dishes at mealtime are keeping the Cai family happy and healthy.
Prior to the end of the 7th lunar month, which falls on September 15th last Saturday, Tzu Chi volunteers in Argentina also held a blessing ceremony to promote Tzu Chi's philosophy. In attendance were 100 local residents who were there to find out a bit more about the auspicious month and the Chinese culture.
In Argentina, residents are familiar with cows and sheep, as raising livestock is an important source of income for most. However, the parable of the kneeling lamb is something they are unfamiliar with. 2 local volunteers take part in the performance on stage. At the Argentina Tzu Chi chapter blessing ceremony, volunteers introduce Filial Piety Month and also the 7th lunar month.
In Chinese culture, the 7th lunar month is superstitiously thought of as Ghost Month, a troublesome month.
Although Argentinians do not relate to the superstitions, they do, however, understand paying respects to ancestors and are willing to partake in the ceremony.
I'm very happy. After the prayer service, I felt at ease.
This blessing ceremony, although different from the traditional 7th lunar month celebrations in the past, still holds the same concept of blessings for all.
Tzu Chi's humanitarian work brings our society blessings and peacefulness. Because of everyone's hard work, Taiwan and Argentina are closer together.
By holding this blessing ceremony, a gap is bridged between the 2 countries as Argentinians get to know Chinese culture better.
Today, in our continuing series of feature reports on invading species in Taiwan, we return to Jinmen to see how the island has been dealing with its smooth cordgrass infestation. Using heavy machinery, the local government recently finished a 4-year project that helped clear 9 hectares of beachfront from the groups of the smooth cordgrass, thus allowing the local wildlife to flourish once more. Let's take a look.
In 2007, the Jinmen County government partnered with the NGO, the Society of Wilderness, to help deal with the spread of smooth cordgrass that was slowly covering its coastlines. Here, the government is using heavy machinery to uproot the plants.
The cordgrass is dug up and then placed in big piles. When they are somewhat dried out, we then come back and cover them with soil.
Heavy machinery, which digs up the grass and then buries it, has been called in to stop the spread of the smooth cordgrass. Due to its particularly deep roots, trying to uproot the grass by hand has proven to be ineffective.
After some tests, we found that it has very deep roots, up to a depth of 1.5 meters, so to be able to completely uproot the grass by hand alone is very difficult.
Not only does the root's depth and breadth foil all but the most determined efforts to uproot it, but it also affords the plant special reproductive capabilities.
Look, here we have 9 stalks growing for just one root. We have found that 1 square meter can hold more than 800 stalks. This density makes it impossible for other wildlife to get through to the beach. The fall from the beach over there to that cliff over there in the distance, all of it was covered in smooth cordgrass.
Here at the mouth of the Wujiang River, after 4 years of effort, 9 hectares of beach are free from smooth cordgrass, and native fauna and wildlife are returning to the area. Snails, shellfish, crabs, the mud skipper fish, and even the protected horseshoe crab have all returned.
The horseshoe crab has not changed in 200 million years. In the past, the beaches on the Taiwan's west coast were full of them, but as the beaches were polluted one by one, only the beaches on Jinmen remain pristine enough for them to survive.
In fact, there is no good or bad plant. As long as humans don't interfere and learn to respect nature, plants will follow the natural order and balance in the ecosystem can be maintained.
Water is an important part of our daily lives. We only have to turn on the tap to get water. But behind the easy access to tap water are thousands of water pipes connected to each other underground. Today we are meeting a group of hardworking staff from the Taiwan Water Corporation who carry out inspections for leaking pipes all year round. Some even refer these men as doctors of the water pipes. With headphones and sound-detecting equipment in hand, every step Lai Tianbao takes, the tool on the ground captures all the sound in the surrounding area. The sound of everything mixed together is what these inspection staff are hearing.
There's other sounds coming from outside, so we have to filter them out, such as scooter, cars, or the sound of people walking.
Lai focuses on finding the sound coming from the water pipes.
I didn't hear anything. It was really quiet. That means all the pipes are in good condition.
Testing the pipes requires sensitive hearing abilities. In this case, Lai Tianbao and Huang Junsi, who both have over 30 years of experience in the field, cover for one another. While one searches for the leaking pipe, the other will be keeping an eye on the traffic.
We help our colleagues and ensure they are safe.
In a day, we may walk for more than 6 hours or more than 5 or 4. We take breaks in between.
It is not the long distance that these men are afraid of, but the wild dogs they meet on the way.
The dogs will chase us, and our legs often get beaten.
Sometimes they are also mistaken as thieves.
Residents will call the police to come check on what we are doing.
As upsetting as it may sound, both Lai and Huang are actually quite optimistic about their work. Getting a sudden notice of a possible leaking pipe, Lai Tianbao and Huang Junsi waste no time to get to their next destination to carry out their inspection work. After confirming the location of the leaking pipe, they make note of the area with a mark.
There's a large surface area that's leaking, so that's why there's no sound of water pressure in the pipes.
Only experienced inspection staff are able to tell the leakage surface area by just listening to the sounds. The sounds of water leaking may vary depending on the size of the pipes and the area. Next, another staff takes out his magic tool.
You see that? It's moving, right? That means there's water leaking.
In fact, this is only a copper wire, and it can direct people to the water pipes. Even science cannot explain these amazing magnetic changes. This was something that the previous staff passed on to them.
This helps us look for leaking pipes.
The loud buzzing noise is the sound of a broken water meter. While the job of these inspection staff requires much skill, it also comes from years of experience. Thus, new staff need up to 5 or 6 years of training before they are able to carry out their duties on the road.
When we found the worst leaking pipe, we were all really amazed.
I feel that we have done a good job.
Cherishing each and every drop of water, these inspection staff are the doctors of all water pipes in Taiwan. In Taiwan, next we meet a previous award recipient of the Love of Lives Award of the Zhou Daguan Foundation, Cho Bo-an, who at first was born into a wealthy family. However, after his father passed away when he was just 13, life became very difficult. Luckily, he didn't give up on studying, and today he is not only a famous artist, but is also doing what he can to help poor children continue their studies, including donating to the Zhou Daguan Foundation.
Poverty, illness, and education, these 3 factors.
During an interview with a radio program, Cho Bo-an is sharing his experiences in fundraising for needy children in Africa. In his 40 years of charity work, the philanthropist has helped over 16,000 children continue their studies.
You can say that I grew up in a tough environment. My father passed away when he was only 33, and I was only in my first year of junior high school then. I was faced with hardship because my family lost everything.
After his father passed on, life went from heaven to hell. Nevertheless, Cho did not give up and instead studied hard to become a well-known artist.
I'm just a hard-working artist, not after fame or wealth.
The humble man's attitude has won him much respect in the world of art and literature, and also the Love of Lives Award from the Zhou Daguan Foundation. Staying in Taiwan, in Taichung's Lisan, 86-year-old Mr. Lin lives in a remote area by himself. Having difficulties in moving about, the senior resident is unable to clean his house. As the poor living conditions have slowly affected his health, city volunteers recently paid him a visit to help him clean up his home.
Passing by the garbage scattered around, Tzu Chi volunteers walked into Mr. Lin's house. Inside his house, everything is in disorder, which forms a striking contrast to the beautiful view outside the window.
My leg is slightly lame and I don't work anymore.
Mr. Lin lives alone in the mountains and receives government compensation for his disability. However, his living conditions are poor because there's no one to help him clean up. When Tzu Chi volunteers come to help, they first clear the garbage out and make space to move about. After clearing out the garbage, volunteers scrub the floor with soap and water, scrape the dirt, and wipe everything clean. For Mr. Lin's safety, the volunteers move his bed to the first floor.
It is very clean. There is more space now.
After cleaning up the house, a volunteer cuts Mr. Lin's hair and nails. The medical staff from Lisan Public Health Center also visit Mr. Lin.
We regularly follow up on his condition regarding diet and exercise. In this mountain area, our supplies may be limited, but we still help out as long as we can.
Thanks to Tzu Chi's help, Mr. Lin's living condition improved immensely.
Working with local doctors and police, Tzu Chi volunteers are reaching out to more people in need.
In China, the Suzhou Tzu Chi Ground will be establishing an exhibition hall very soon. The exhibition hall will feature Tzu Chi's history and charity work around the globe. Recently, Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers arrived in Suzhou, not only to help set up the venue, but also share their experiences with local volunteers.
Stepping into the exhibition hall at Suzhou's Tzu Chi grounds, the Eastern China volunteers realized that it is no easy task to set up a venue.
I was shocked when I came to volunteer. I saw the Tzu Chi brothers and sisters working so hard to set up the place. As a local and a volunteer in China, I decided to join in. In the future, we will have more Jingsi halls in China. Therefore, we need more people in Suzhou to carry on Tzu Chi's mission.
Inside the exhibition hall, the volunteers not only feel a sense of serenity, but also gain wisdom through learning.
Every one of us has a pure heart. However, our minds are contaminated by negative things in our society. After volunteering over here, I finally understand the meaning behind the Water Repentance Sutra. The Master also told us that we need to learn from doing and realize through learning.
To decorate the venue, the volunteers have to be extra careful because each corner and side may affect the look of the whole exhibition hall. A local volunteer, He Tao, says he has been spiritually inspired.
I'm an introvert, but after joining Tzu Chi, I learned a lot from the other volunteers. I started to interact with others and work with them. I learned to put my heart into everything I do.
Tzu Chi history is created by each and every one of us. Now in the future, the Suzhou Tzu Chi Exhibition Hall will continue to record the footprints of volunteers everywhere.
To raise funds for the construction of a new Jingsi Hall in Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers from the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter held charity fairs in 3 different elementary schools at the end of August. Participants and Tzu Chi members from all walks of life all kindly donated what they could. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.